I think 2 or 3 stories out of AT&T, some not so great stuff happening there. And then there's probably like, I'd say probably 4 stories, maybe 5 on T-Mobile. One of them's like a phone deal, a promotion that's up and coming. Another is the interference issues that's happening with these fixed wireless providers. That's kind of annoying. Shout out to the FCC for being useless and not doing their damn jobs per usual. All right, let's start here. Let's start with story number 1. And man, Android Authority got a shit ton of ads, man. Sheesh. Look at all those ads. All right, let me get me out of the way just for a second. I'll bring me back in shortly. And this is not sized properly. All right, let's try this. All right, we got it squeezed in there. Okay. New FCC rule forces T-Mobile, others to display nutrition labels for plans. Nutrition labels. We're talking like for cellular plans, and we're talking for home internet plans. All right, starting today, T-Mobile and other internet service providers across the country have begun displaying broadband fact labels under new federal regulations. These nutrition labels aim to give consumers a transparent look at what they're paying for when they sign up for broadband service, including both wired and wireless service. According to the FCC, this initiative aims to eliminate surprises on monthly bills. President Biden underscored this aspect in a recent announcement as an effort to combat junk fees. So here's what these labels look like. Let me give you guys a little bit of a zoom. FCC labels. You'll notice that they like legit look like food labels, right? So you would read the back of your bag of chips or your soda or what have you, right? And they give you the broadband facts, so basically like the nutrition facts. And what it does is it very granularly gives you every single charge, every term of the service, every detail, whether it's supported by the ACP, what types of discounts and bundles are offered, any additional charges, including taxes, surcharges, economic recovery fees. Every single thing has to be disclosed into these fact labels. So this is kind of the FCC's way of getting providers to be more transparent and more forthcoming about their services, how much they charge, and what customers can expect. I respect this. All right, straight up, no exaggeration. I actually respect this. And the reason why I respect this is because it's going to hold internet service providers accountable. It's not a game-changing thing. Nobody's looking at this and being like, oh, it's about damn time we got nutrition labels for our broadband. That's really not what it's about. But it is for the novice, for the first-time home internet purchaser, or for someone who's not well connected to the industry, not well versed as a consumer, doesn't shop around, doesn't follow the SMT YouTube channel or anything like that. They might read this and actually make some sense out of it. You know what I mean? So I'm actually a fan of this. Again, it's not game changing, but I do think it has value. Okay, so it's not going to disrupt the game, but I think it's going to do exactly what it was designed to do. The FCC has mandated new broadband nutrition labels for all wired and wireless internet service providers. That was the mission. That's what was done. The labels must clearly break down plan costs, speeds, hidden fees, resembling the ingredient list found on food products. And since today was the rollout deadline, they're popping up on all carrier websites. So guys, you're going to see this on the T-Mobile website. You're going to see this on the Verizon website, AT&T. You'll see it on MVNOs. In fact, let me show you guys what they look like when you actually go to a carrier webpage. Here. You guys know this brand. This is Mint Mobile. This is our partner. You know how we do. Shout out to our partner, Mint Mobile. By the way, link is in the description if you guys are looking to get a plan from Mint. They're doing an incredible deal right now. All plans, $15 per month, including the unlimited plan. Get the 3 months, $45, 50% off. Look at that pricing. You can't beat it with a stick. All right, now check out the terms of the plan. They're all in that box. They're all in that nutrition label. 3 months unlimited. There's the price, monthly price, regular monthly price, government fees, how it's built in, the Federal Universal Service Fund, all built in, right? They put all that in there, right? And they tell you exactly what you're paying. ACP funded, no discounts, speeds, right? They tell you the typical download speeds, right? Typical upload speeds, typical latency, right? Here's the data included with the monthly price, tells you how many gigs you get. Network management, you click on it, you can open up the policy. Customer care and support numbers and contact numbers and contact websites. And then a connection to the FCC, website in case you need to refer to it. That, my friends, is transparency. Now you can shop with confidence that you're going to be able to know everything that's going on. Okay, so here's how I look at this, and nobody's life is changing just because these things all of a sudden exist, but it's a good thing that the FCC did it. They've always wanted to do it. It's been on the agenda for a couple of years now, and they finally pulled it off, and I think it's sustainable. I think they'll be able to enforce this. Carriers just, every time they make a new plan, every time they change terms, they got to disclose it, and you can shop, Okay, so the speed test channel says reported Brightspeed to FCC today for not having labels on their site yet. Also seeing blatant lies on some carriers. Frontier DSL label shows 115 meg for DSL. So when you report them, the FCC is going to get that report, and there's probably a liaison or someone that's going to contact the providers, and they're going to have to make that modification and put updates to the labels and updates to the website, right? They're going to have to make those changes. So goodbye, you speed test channel, holding these carriers accountable. Much respect, man. All right, folks, let's go ahead and transition over to this story. This one is from Phone Arena. Boost Mobile has a new spokesperson. I don't know if you guys knew this yet. I'm not even sure if we covered it on the channel officially. I think I did make a video. Maybe I just got to drop it. Boost Mobile has a new spokesperson. It's Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, the Hall of Fame NFL football player turned coach, former MLB baseball player, one of the most incredible athletes I ever saw play any sport, let alone multiple professional sports. Prime was prime time, man. Dude was insane. And he's doing an incredible thing in his college coaching career with Colorado State Buffaloes, right? That brought a lot of notoriety to that school and that program. Anyways, hoping he can do the same thing for Boost. So he's the new face of the franchise, I suppose. And they're going to kind of launch things off with him and a Motorola Razr. For those of you that are hip to these phones, they're like flip phones, but they're smartphones, obviously. So not really like a foldable, like you guys know, like the Samsung Fold, more like the Samsung Flip or, whatever. But these phones are slick. They're really cool. And, Dish has a good network. Real talk. It is good. The native network is very good. Anyways, the former two-sport star Deion Sanders promoting the Motorola Razr 2023 phone. Colorado Buffaloes, right? Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion. It's a special edition clamshell foldable Motorola Razr starting on April 19th. So it's not even out yet. At the time of this recording, it's a week out. And by the time you're watching this, maybe at a later time, it might actually be out. All right, so you're going to have this special edition Razr. It says limited supply, right? So there's only going to be certain amounts of devices for sale. The signature "You Gotta Believe" motto will be branded on the phone. And then for the sake of accuracy, New York Met relief pitcher Tug McGraw, father of country singer Tim, who created the "You Gotta Believe" saying in 1973. So that's where that comes from, I guess. Anyways, here's what the phone looks like, and kind of like the markings and the design. It actually looks pretty slick. And those colors, this Colorado Buffaloes colors, right? So that is a pretty nice looking phone, man. I got one of these phones, these flips, the Motorola Razors. I don't know if it's the same exact model. This one looks a little bit different, actually. This one, I think the one I have is actually better. I know the front display is much larger on the phone I have, but that's a slick, very nice phone. Let's see here. It says the device will be available at a price of $149.99 at boostmobile.com. At Boost Mobile stores, customers who subscribe to Boost's $60 a month plan can get the phone on Boost Mobile. Okay, so you get a special deal, monthly rate. You get the phone at a specific price. Here's what Sean Lee, SVP of Boost Mobile's consumer product and marketing team, said. Quote, "I grew up watching Deion in Atlanta. I'm beyond thrilled to have Coach Prime on our team. Coach Prime is a proven leader who works hard, knows what it takes to win, and is a strong community advocate. Get ready for more exciting things to come from Boost Mobile and Coach Prime, powered by our own 5G network." Nice. All right, let me give you guys my take on this. So, Coach Prime is a figure, a public figure, with a lot of cachet. He's a G. I respect Prime. And I'll tell you guys, like, Boost Mobile offers a pretty good rate plan to get unlimited, whatever plans you want. It's a cool phone too. This is not a bad setup at all. $150 for the phone. It's pretty slick. Not to say that you would get this as a secondary connection, but it would be a pretty incredible secondary connection. But it could be your primary too. Really, really good phone. Really good deal. I love Motorola software. I love the form factor of that flip. It's a pretty slick deal. And with respect to Boost going with Coach Prime as their kind of their branding and their spokesperson, I think it's a good move. I think it's better than anything else that they've done so far. It's better than, what's his name, the Pitbull dude back in the day, remember? Dale and all that nonsense. I mean, I don't know, was that doing anything for anybody? Yo, shout out to Big Sept for the super chat. He broke the seal for the evening. Salute to you, sir. $15 a month for unlimited plan from Mint is good, but the T-Mobile prepaid plan that's $75 per month for 2 lines is even better. I don't know, man. It depends if you need 2 lines, right? They're just different deals. Maybe you want the 2-line deal. You need 2 lines. It's you and someone else in the fam, I get it, And then you're getting a much more unlimited experience with that the T-Mobile prepaid. But the Mint cost, man, you really can't beat it, dog. $15 a month. It's pretty fantastic. Yeah, so the partnership here between these Boost Mobile and Deion, I think is solid. I think it'll be good for them. I don't know how impactful it'll be, just because I know what's been going on at Boost Mobile for a while now, and it's going to take more than Coach Prime, to put them in a stronger position. They've been having trouble for years, right? Basically since the merger in 2020 with T-Mobile, Sprint, and Dish. Yo, what up, Dan Tana? My boy Tana Solit in the house. What's up, Broham? Good to see you, man. All right, what's Verizon got for us? Verizon's got some stuff happening. NAB 2024. What the hell is that? I don't even know. This story was dated from a couple of days ago. Verizon Business to demonstrate cutting-edge media and entertainment technology at NAB 2024. Let's see what Verizon's up to. Let's see if we care. Oh, they're doing hashtag W2042. What is that? All right, Verizon Business will showcase its media and entertainment solutions at NAB 2024, booth number W2042, at the Vegas Convention Center, between April 13th and 17th. So that's going to be this week, starting this weekend, it looks like. Maybe Los, if you're going to be in the neighborhood, you swing by and take a look and see what Verizon's doing there. They got this business booth. Advanced connectivity solutions have transformed the way content is created, protected, distributed, and consumed. Verizon Business helping media and entertainment companies leverage private networks, 5G and 5G Edge to transform the way they operate. All right, so let's see what Verizon's going to do. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can kind of peep what's going on here. What the hell? All right. Okay. 5G-enabled live broadcast. Verizon, in partnership with the NHL, has developed a portfolio of 5G-enabled edge compute video workflows. REMI production, camera to cloud, replay, graphics, technical direction to create broadcast quality, low latency delivery of NHL games. Event goers being able to see unique content, live matchups across the country, mini broadcast studio and booth. All right, cool. Slick. They're also going to do some private networking stuff. See how 5G can offer private network and enterprise services with radically faster download speeds. We like those. All right, let's highlight this. So, faster download speeds, vastly reduced latency. The lower the latency, the better. Right, pinging to the network much quicker. More network capacity and other benefits that could fuel an explosion in new apps, platforms, devices, and possibilities for entertainment. For sure, like live streaming and stuff like that. 5G Edge Editor. What is this here? Learn how this award-winning real-time editing and collaboration solution is transforming workflows in the broadcast, film, television, and gaming industries by replicating an on-prem user experience from almost any location. So this is basically remote access to broadcasting tools. So like you don't have to be on site at a place to properly broadcast and manage all these different shows and live productions and stuff like that. That's pretty slick. Open caching, Verizon Network Edge Delivery. So this probably is going to be big because this is what Verizon is going to be selling enterprise. Improving end user experiences with reductions in content startup times. Time to content is important. Everybody likes to connect to stuff like instantaneously. No lag. No freezing, no pausing, no playback failures. Redundancy, reliability, and dependability, right? And quality playback. And then Verizon PFAN solution, or PFAN, private field area networks, high performance transport solution, leading capacity and coverage that addresses fiber gaps by providing point-to-point wireless. So that's microwave, but probably using fiber fed transport at some point. Anyways, Verizon is going from 11:45 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. This is in Vegas. That'll be starting on Sunday. They're also going to be have a 30-minute session on Monday, and then they take a break at 11. Then they restart at 11:30. They got another thing that they're doing, and then Tuesday they've got 2 events. Okay, so basically it's like a 3 or 4 day thing for Verizon. They're gonna have a booth. Cool. Los, check it out for us, man. Let's see here. Okay, here's another one from Verizon. New Jersey Devils and Prudential Center announce extended partnership with Verizon. Never been. Last time I was in New Jersey was freaking years ago. And I don't think anywhere near the Prudential Center. All right, New York, New York. All right, the New Jersey Devils, Prudential Centers, and Verizon announced today that they have a multi-year extension of their partnership. All right, so they've had a pre-existing partnership. Verizon does 2 things really well with sports. They do the NFL big. They're the official NFL partner. And then they're also the official NHL partner. So Verizon was already in a partnership with the New Jersey Devils. This extends it and gives them reach for a number of years. So they'll just continue to kind of work with them. Things are probably good, right? They probably hooked up the arena. The facilities, indoors, outdoors, parking lots. I don't know if, there's any type of like outdoor venues and other neighboring places where Verizon souped up the network. Verizon is deploying Verizon's 5G ultra wideband services, private 5G networks, Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 6E to give Prudential Center the ability to host a wide range of large-scale events, concerts, games, more efficient and reliable network and fast connectivity. So they're probably running their own fiber there. They're obviously going to be building millimeter wave. They're going to have the C-band up there. They're going to have a Wi-Fi system, DAS, nodes all over the place. Verizon will be the best carrier at these types of venues because of the partnership, right? Not to say that AT&T won't be any good. Not to say that T-Mobile won't be any good. They might be, and they probably should be. But Verizon's the partner, so they're not going to be outdone. And that's what these commitments are for. So you're going to have point of sales, all those, wireless connections that they use for like people buying water and concessions and snacks and all those things. Shout out to Will. He said there is millimeter wave there. He confirms it. And he said he's been to numerous events there. Yeah, man, you're probably seeing like, even during the events, like 1 or 2 gigabits per second on the downlink. And probably off peak, it's like 4 gigs. It's crazy. But this is what's nice about when Verizon has the partnerships with certain teams, with certain leagues. You get really hooked up networks. And, these networks become so capacitive, you could basically do whatever you want when you're at the arena. You can live stream the event. You could post videos while you're there, right? You could FaceTime your loved ones and kind of share the moment with them. You might need to do a data session or 2 in between periods or quarters or events, that sort of thing. Before, after, ride hailing, you got to find your Uber or your Lyft or whatever. That's what it's all about. That's what the networking is for, man. Uh-oh. What is this about? This is an AT&T story. Oh, Will says he never saw it go under a gig. I believe it, man. That millimeter wave stuff is special. All right, let me see if I can zoom in for you guys here. You guys can see the title of the story. This one is from Fox 2 Now. Where the hell is this? Missouri? St. Louis is the story. Okay. Shout out to St. Lou. All right. Former AT&T tower sold, giving hope for vacant buildings in St. Louis. Has vacancies been a problem in St. Louis? Wonder what's going on there. All right, big news for some iconic downtown St. Louis buildings that have sat empty. First, the former AT&T tower has just been sold. Recently, there was a plan to turn St. Louis into a vertical city with a hotel, apartments, office space, penthouses, and a rooftop pool that fell apart about 8 months ago. I think we do have some community members, viewers, and subscribers from St. Louis. Maybe they could chime into some of this happenings here. No word yet on the grandiose, as the vertical city plan has confirmed the 1.4 million square foot tower has just sold to Boston real estate firm the Goldman Group for a bargain price. Records show the nearly 40-year-old building sold for nearly $205 million in 2006, then selling for less than $4.1 million in 2022 after being vacant for nearly 5 years. That's a huge loss. If you paid $205 million for it and then sold it for $4.1, that's a big oof. And why? What happened? That's such a dramatic loss. Damn. It's the latest in a flurry of downtown activity involving 3 very recognizable but very empty buildings. Those are enormous vacancies in the city. I'm serious about doing what I can as the elder person to move things forward. This is according to St. Louis Alderwoman Kara Spencer of Ward 8. Spencer's ward includes downtown St. Louis. She wants the city's use of eminent domain to wrestle control of the Millennium Hotel building near the Gateway Arch from absentee owners in Singapore. So they're not even stateside, those ownership groups. Wow. That's an interesting development. So it's more of a real estate story. So an AT&T tower, not really a tower in the case of like a cell tower, but it's more like a building. And by tower, it just must be a very large vacant building. I don't know. AT&T holding L's. Maybe they were the ones that lost all that money in that transaction. Damn, that's a lot of money lost. Next story. We'll keep it AT&T, shall we? All right, let me get you guys a zoom here. Let's see. Okay, this one is from the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC. FTC sends refunds to former AT&T wireless customers who were subject to data throttling. Wow, a 2019 settlement, $6.3 million. All right, the FTC is sending partial refunds to consumers totaling nearly $6.3 million, stemming from the FTC's lawsuit against AT&T Mobility for misleading customers about its unlimited data plans. The $60 million settlement, announced in 2019, resolved allegations that the wireless provider failed to adequately disclose to its unlimited data plan customers that if they reach a certain amount of data use in a given bill cycle, AT&T would reduce or throttle their data speeds to the point that many common mobile phone applications such as web browsing and video streaming became difficult or nearly impossible to use. So basically, the terms of the data management rules for the plan were not made clear or obvious to the customers. They started using their data unlimited, and then after a certain amount of usage, they started getting throttled and managed. Customers got pissed because it wasn't disclosed to them. It wasn't in the terms, and that hence created the lawsuit. In 2020, as a result of the settlement, the company gave a bill credit to current AT&T customers, sending refund checks to former customers, which resulted in $52 million returned to customers. The latest refunds are going to consumers who had not yet received a refund and filed a valid claim with the FTC. The FTC is sending over 212,000 checks and over 54,000 PayPal payments. Cash that shit within the next 90 days. You should be able to redeem the PayPal payment within the next 30 days. Man. Let me say something to AT&T here. And this goes out to all carriers. Stop lying to people. Stop being sneaky. Stop being disingenuous. Stop lying. Be transparent. Run an honest business. Stop being thieves. Stop being rotten. Stop treating customers like they're, pieces of nothing. Treat them with respect. Treat them like your family, and you will be rewarded handsomely. And you won't get sued. When you run a legitimate business and you're transparent and honest about everything, you sleep easy at night. You don't have to worry about shit like this. You don't have to pay out extra money for no reason. You can keep that money to reinvest in your network, buy more stuff that makes your company more valuable, pay your employees, give them raises, reinvest into your shareholders. Do anything other than get sued. Seriously. Yo, shout out to S Blue Tech. We got our second super chat of the night. Salute to you, man. Thank you. And it's a generous one. He said, what's up, nation? On a short weekend trip, tuning into the stream from my Pixel 8 Pro. So far performing well. I got a 7 Pro, man, and I like mine. I do have better phones than it, but I like it. I like my Pixels, man. Thanks, Santiago. Salute, man. Appreciate the support. Oh, man. More bad news for AT&T. AT&T being hit with dozens of class action lawsuits following data breach. Oh, my goodness. The story is from April 10th. Michael Cann, the author. AT&T is facing an avalanche of class action lawsuits, so that means many. Not one, not two. Avalanche. And this after last month's data leak initially appeared to ensnare as many as 73 million users. A week ago, it was reported one of the first class action lawsuits stemming from the breach, but since AT&T disclosed the incident on March 30th, plaintiffs have filed approximately 30 lawsuits in Texas, where the carrier is headquartered, which allege a breach of contract. Told you AT&T $5 wasn't going to be enough. PC Mag only looked through a dozen of the complaints to avoid racking up court fees, but in those we viewed, the plaintiffs called for a class action lawsuit against AT&T, claiming that the carrier failed to safeguard consumers' personal data, including phone numbers, addresses, and in some cases, social security numbers and dates of birth. The worst part about this, guys, is that there were public cries letting AT&T know that they had been breached, and they just didn't respond. Again, another instance of how carriers don't give a shit about their customers or respect their information or their data. One of the lawsuits says, quote, "This data breach has and will lead to further devastating financial and personal losses to data breach victims." A hacking group called Shiny Hunters started selling the stolen AT&T data back in 2021, but at the time, AT&T denied that the information had come from its systems. Bullshit. The mysterious leak then came back into the spotlight last month when a new user called Major Nelson began circulating another 5 gigs archive that appeared to contain the same AT&T data. After initially dismissing the leak again, AT&T confirmed the archive's legitimacy after a security researcher found customers' AT&T passcodes in the data. See, at that point, it's undeniable. This led the company to issue a notice to consumers warning them about the breach, but in response to class action lawsuit claims, AT&T failed to implement proper cybersecurity safeguards and demand that the company pay damages to affected customers. Quote, "The data breach occurred in 2019, but AT&T did not begin informing victims until March 30th, 2024. 5 years. Not a single response or proactive, reactive move from AT&T for 5 years. During this time, plaintiff and class members were unaware that their sensitive personal identifiers had been compromised and that they were and continue to be at significant risk of identity theft and other various forms of personal, social, and financial harm. AT&T hasn't commented on the lawsuits or the origin of the leaked data. The carriers did send an official notice about the security incident to Maine's Attorney General, which says the breach affects 51 million people. Earlier this month, AT&T said preliminary analysis indicated the data covered 7.6 million current AT&T account holders and 65.4 million former customers. This shit makes me sick. Update. An AT&T spokesperson explained why the company scaled down the number of users affected. Quote, "We are sending a communication to each person whose sensitive personal information was included. Some people had more than one account in the data set. Others did not have sensitive personal information," according to the spokesperson. Oh my God, man. They waited 5 years to do anything. And even when they could do something, they didn't. Reminds me a lot of what was happening to T-Mobile. You know how they were getting hacked every couple of months? Same type of bullshit. This has to be one of the worst situations we've seen from hacks from carriers because it went on for so long and they didn't respond. That's really why anyone would be angry at AT&T for this. So basically the takeaway is hacks happen. Carriers are going to get hacked. Banks get hacked. Amazon gets hacked. I mean, Microsoft gets hacked. Like, literally everybody gets hacked. Nobody's saying that it can't happen or it must not happen. It's just going to, right? The hackers are always working their way to get into systems and access people's info. But 5 years to give a shit and give a damn, it's so bad. Such a bad look for AT&T. And of course, this after the network outage from AT&T. Like, stuff's starting to catch up to this company. They need to be more diligent about how they run their business. But this isn't sexy. Dealing with a data breach is not attractive. It doesn't look good publicly. The optics are bad. You know what I mean? Yo, shout out to Gene, longtime member, man. 13 months. Salute to you. It's a great stream. It's like the T-Mobile breach. It is. And there was a time where T-Mobile did something similar to this, where they refused to acknowledge the data breach, only to later acknowledge the data breach. Why the hell aren't you acknowledging it sooner and then proactively trying to help folks prepare for what could be coming down the pipeline from this? Terrible. Yeah, it's ridiculous. All right, move it along. Move it along. 46 minutes into the stream. Let's see if we can pick up the pace here to round out the show. All right, this one is from T-Mo News. This is crazy. This is insane. Report. T-Mobile's T-Life app, in case you guys didn't know, that's their new app, now displays advertisements. Man, they are so hungry, man. So if I can't even imagine if I open up, my AT&T app, my Verizon app, and I see freaking ads. All right. Earlier this year, T-Mobile shut down its T-Mobile Tuesdays app to consolidate the service in its T-Life app. T-Mobile referred to this app as a solution for users to have access to benefits, more ways to connect with what's important. Although T-Mobile Tuesdays rewards program did not go away, it has began offering these within the T-Life app. Unfortunately, some users have reported seeing ads in the T-Life app. The Mobile Report has published this information. And users spotted an ad for a mobile game called Match Collector. It's possible that T-Mobile still has a number of other ads in its roster to show on the app. The publication also shares that T-Mobile could be using the app as a way to gain revenue for footing the freebies it offers in its rewards program. After all, these freebies still cost money. With millions of customers on the line, that cost can add up. Hopefully, T-Mobile makes sure that the ads that show up on its T-Life app have been vetted, that they are not scams. This is just so unnecessary. I mean, not that I would care all that much, but you make this new app to try to integrate all the stuff within the app, right? T-Mobile Tuesdays, people can get access to whatever tools and applications and news updates or whatever they want to do through the app, right? You're trying to make it more convenient and more consumer friendly. So you put ads in it. Are you serious? Nobody wants to see more ads. We see, dude, if you watch TV, you see 30 ads when you watch a 20-minute show. I mean, if you listen to Spotify, you got to deal with all these ads. YouTube TV, you got ads on ads on ads on ads. YouTube, all of it. It's all ads. Now you're going to go into your carrier app and deal with ads? This is just a straight up money grab. They just want to be able to get some extra revenue from these advertisers. And it's going to get in your way. Now, if it's just ads on the side of the page or something real small, I guess it's not a big deal. But if it's going to play a commercial while you're trying to access the T-Mobile Tuesday for the week, that's terrible. Life sucking to continue to deal with ads even when you're opening up your carrier app. Stupid. Not a fan of this. Not good. Now, don't give AT&T and Verizon any ideas. You guys think they would do that? Let me know. Comment. All right, let's see here. All right, report out of T-Mobile. Rolling out a BOGO deal for existing customers coming soon. T-Mobile is rewarding its loyal customers with a new free line deal. Redditors are reporting a new promotion. The promotion is available to existing customers who have an active account earlier than April 9th. T-Mobile representative allegedly also confirmed that the BOGO offer was being prepared by the Un-carrier. The Post shares that customers who add a paid new line to an existing account will receive a free voice line via monthly credits. All right, so that's the terms. Add a line, get a second line for free. As of the writing, T-Mobile has not officially announced the promotion yet, but we could see it announced soon. All right, so we are officially in Q2. So maybe they're running a Q2 special. Maybe the growth has been slowing at T-Mobile and they're trying to keep that momentum going. Probably what it is. T-Mobile does add a lot of customers each quarter. Typically, we see them adding like 5, 6, 7, 800,000 net adds every quarter. If any of that pace is starting to slow down, this is the type of thing that can get them adding more lines, whether they're free or not. They get to count that as net adds. So that might be kind of what they're doing there. What do you guys think? You guys think that's the case? I mean, I'm not sure what plan it has to be. It didn't indicate because it's kind of just sort of a leak. I don't know if it's going to include like the essentials or the Go 5G Next, whatever. If it has to be one of those premium lines, we'll see. I'm sure we'll catch wind of it pretty soon. All right, now this one I wanted to talk about. I'll spend more time with this one. T-Mobile makes significant upgrade to its smartphone equity program. Did a video on it, posted it a couple of days ago, yesterday, I forget when I did. All right, T-Mobile has made a significant change to its signature program called Smartphone Equality. Through the program, T-Mobile Prepaid and Metro by T-Mobile customers, also a prepaid brand, can get a deal on a new device. The program allows them to score the latest smartphone despite their payment method and credit score. When T-Mobile rolled out the program, the best deals were only available to customers who had a high credit score, but with today's change, T-Mobile is making this accessible to more customers. The Smartphone Equity Program, they take into account a customer's payment history, making it as valuable as a credit score. So what they're doing is if you have long-standing on-time payment history with T-Mobile Prepaid and or Metro by T-Mobile, they're going to go ahead and give you an iPhone 15 on us deal. So you'll have to do a trade-in, right? You'll trade in your old phone. They'll give you the new iPhone 15 as long as you have made 12 consecutive on-time monthly payments. That builds trust, right? So they're willing to give you the phone. The iPhone 15 on us has the standard storage option at 128 gigs, $0 down. It's 24 monthly bill credits when you bring your number with eligible trade-in on any Go 5G plan. Listen carefully, guys. They are moving you from prepaid to postpaid. The Go 5G plan is a branded T-Mobile postpaid plan. That is not a prepaid plan. This is a postpaid move. This is a translocation. They're taking you from prepaid at Metro or T-Mobile prepaid and putting you onto T-Mobile postpaid. Your qualification has nothing to do with your credit score. They're doing it from your payment history. Some people out there might be really excited about this. They may be credit challenged. Maybe the money's not an issue, it's just credit. Maybe money is the issue. Whichever one of those things it is, this deal covers it. 24 bill credits, an iPhone 15 on us. But you got to be on the Go 5G plan. A person who is at T-Mobile prepaid or Metro pays more for the Go 5G plan. I'm not sure what the single line for the Go 5G plan is. I don't have, if anybody can verify the cost of it, but I'm pretty sure it's like $70 some or $80. If I remember correctly, 75, something like that. If anybody has the Go 5G plan, let me know. Single line price. Most plans at Metro are probably $50 to $60 for an unlimited plan, if I remember correctly. I haven't looked at T-Mobile prepaid in absolutely forever, so I have no clue. But this is 100% an upsell. But they're doing it in a very clever way. They're getting you qualified just for you paying your bills on time, having that history with them, and they're giving you an iPhone 15. They're hoping that you, by moving to this Go 5G plan and you stay with them for a long time, you're going to be spending an extra $10 to $15 a month on your plan, maybe $20 a month, right? And that will pay for the phone. By the way, you're probably paying taxes on the phone. It says $0 down, but it doesn't mean you're not paying taxes. So, paying the taxes on a phone that's probably $800, Well, whatever your tax rate is where you are. Maybe it's 8% or something, 10%, 12%. I don't know. Damn, S Blue Tech hit us with another super chat. Salute, man. MS says, this is exactly how Sears used their store credit card information to launch the Discover card in the 1980s. That info is amazing to have as a loan officer. I could see that connection. Scooter54 says you can't miss any payments. Right, so it would disqualify you if you made a late payment or missed a payment. Tax rate in Maine is 5.5%. I think here in my county it's like 8% or around 8%. Yeah, so this is 100% a postpaid offer. This is 100% a translocation of customers, trying to move them off of prepaid, getting them onto postpaid, where T-Mobile can upsell them on a more expensive plan and then get them in to other, products and services. It's a lot easier to do that with a postpaid customer than a prepaid customer. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some people who want to stay prepaid. They don't want to move to postpaid. They chose prepaid. They're not the ones that T-Mobile's targeting. They're looking to increase their ARPU with those that are willing to take the free phone and pay for the more expensive plan. And I think it'll work. I think they'll make some transactions happen here. All right, let's keep it T-Mobile here. All right, now I did a video on this, and I want to kind of be a little bit more inclusive of all the elements we know now. So Red Zone, Next Wave, these are two wireless service providers complaining of interference from T-Mobile 5G. And this is off the news of Blue Surf just last week, earlier this week, disclosing that they were having trouble and interference from T-Mobile's 2.5 gigahertz 5G UC. Yeah, man. And you guys can see the location here. Oh, man, the interference. I don't like the sound of this. All right. Two additional companies, Red Zone Wireless in Maine, Next Wave in New York, claim that T-Mobile's 5G network and its 2.5 gigahertz spectrum is interfering with their operations. They joined Blue Surf, which operates in Maryland, in raising interference complaints against T-Mobile. Quote, "We have customers that are suffering great harm," Red Zone founder and CEO Jim McKenna told Light Reading. Quote, "We have customers that have left us because of this." Uh-oh, that's not good. So they're basically saying the customers were having such problems with the connections, they changed service providers and discontinued their service with the brand. McKenna said he had been in discussions with T-Mobile's management about the issue for more than a year. Quote, "Please know that I am open to discuss any manner of solutions with you and your senior team that would turn this matter into the most positive and successful outcome for all parties." McKenna wrote to T-Mobile CEO Mike Sievert more than a year ago. But McKenna said T-Mobile has ignored his complaints. Not good. T-Mobile look bad. If McKenna and his team over at, what is the brand? What's the company name? Red Zone in Maine. If they're reaching out to you and making a legitimate effort to try to find a remedy or a solution to the problem, and you don't respond, and now there's stories about it, sweaty armpits, Eugene, you look bad. Because if there is something you could do to address this and fix the issue, you should. I know a lot of people are going to sit there and blame the FCC, and that's fine. They're the ones that regulate the airwaves. But they're reaching out to you, and they're making efforts to try to fix the problem. And they need you to fix the problem. Why aren't you holding up your end of the bargain and being involved? Quote, "It's all part of a pattern of very disturbing behavior by T-Mobile," according to McKenna. T-Mobile officials declined to discuss the matter with Light Reading. Why? Why don't they want to talk about it with Light Reading? Why don't they want to engage in discussions with McKenna? Next Wave hopes for relief. Red Zone isn't alone. Fixed wireless operator Blue Surf renewed its claims that T-Mobile's 5G service is interfering with its network. Blue Surf is now calling on the FCC to step in and do something. Yeah, I don't like the sound of this. NextWave has been suffering severe interference, quote, severe, from T-Mobile that has crippled large parts of its New York network, according to an official familiar with NextWave operations who asked not to be named. The official said NextWave is seeing the same type of interference in some of the other cities where it is building its 2.5 gigahertz private wireless network. In private wireless networks, it's usually business applications, so those are probably very profitable customers. I'd be pissed. After a slight delay, NextWave announced in February that it would expand its private wireless networks into markets including LA, San Francisco, Vegas, Philly, and Dallas. According to the NextWave official, the company is hoping for an FCC enforcement action against T-Mobile soon. McKenna said RedZone knew it would need to work with T-Mobile shortly after T-Mobile purchased 2.5 gigahertz spectrum in Maine, Spectrum Auction 108. Quote, I even sent them a note of congratulations, McKenna said. McKenna and the company RedZone have been operating fixed wireless access services in the 2.5 gigahertz spectrum across Maine for more than a decade. T-Mobile looks terrible in this, guys. Shortly after T-Mobile received FCC authorization to turn on its 2.5 gigahertz holdings in Maine earlier this year, it launched its 5G network in the state without any warning, according to McKenna. He said RedZone immediately noticed an uptick in customers' tech support calls as they suffered dropped connections due to interference. Quote, it was a Friday in March. Since then, McKenna said he has contacted T-Mobile on 4 separate occasions to try to get the company to work with RedZone on a possible solution. He said, I think there's a pathway to coordination. He said, I'll fly to Seattle tomorrow and sit down with them anywhere they want to meet. Wow. So McKenna looks like a nice guy, sounds like a nice guy. He's trying to get a fix that works for both companies. It looks and sounds like from his side, T-Mobile's not coming to the table. They're not responding. That's why they're reaching out to the FCC. The other company, what was the name of the company? It was RedZone and NextWave. It sounds like their efforts are not being acknowledged by T-Mobile. T-Mobile's appetite for additional 2.5 gigahertz spectrum shows no sign of slowing. The company recently filed for FCC permission to acquire additional 2.5 gigahertz licenses in Cali, Louisiana, Kentucky, New York, and North Carolina. So T-Mobile's been gobbling up all this 2.5 gigahertz spectrum. Now they're not playing nicely. These are the things that I tell you guys all the time. Everybody has always loved T-Mobile. T-Mobile has been infallible. They have been the uncarrier. They have established all this great equity with the market. Investors love them. Analysts love them. The uncarrier thing, customers have loved T-Mobile. And I said 4 years ago when they got the merger and John left and Eugene stepped in, this is a different company. They're not who they once were. They weren't doing things like this before. Now they do things like this where they don't give a shit and they don't care about the rules and they don't play nice because now they're in a position of power. I want to make something very clear. When people get money and power, they become more of who they are. When they're broke, poor, powerless, they're humble, they're kind, they're nice, they're respectful. Companies operate through the personality, the characteristics, the qualities of their CEO. They take on that persona. This tells you everything you need to know about this company. They're a carrier. It's not personal. This is not me taking personal shots at T-Mobile. This is reality. When they bought Sprint and eliminated Sprint and took all of their assets, this was inevitable. This is who they were going to become. And that's why John left. Everything he had done up to that point, to the merger, was opposite of this. He couldn't stay for this. Someone else had to do this. Eugene. And Eugene's just like anybody from AT&T, and he's just like anybody from Verizon. It's just disingenuous because they still mock and clown and lie about the uncarrier movement. There's no uncarrier. You call this uncarrier? Would an uncarrier be unresponsive to the incumbent operators of a frequency that has experienced interference that's impacting the performance of the network? T-Mobile's spectrum is messy, noisy, and troubled. And they need to work with these companies to find solutions. And I know everybody's, going to have an opinion, and that's fine. You can defend T-Mobile if you want. I don't care. That's fine. Go ahead, do what you do. You could defend the regional providers. Do what you do. I don't care. You could defend the FCC. Probably won't, but you could defend the FCC. These companies just want to operate. They were doing just fine before Spectrum Auction 108 cleared. Those white space licenses are causing them hell. They're having customer care calls up the ass since March. Just so happens March was when T-Mobile was issued the white space licenses. Yes, the FCC should have been more prepared for this. But also T-Mobile should be responding to these calls and be a part of the solution. That's my problem. Hey, shout out to Kenneth. Thank you for the $2 super chat. He said, for the guys on Assurance Wireless, what do we do? I don't know, man. The whole ACP program right now is a shamble. I think this month is the last month where you'll get a $14 subsidy. And then from there, what you're going to want to do is contact your ISP, your wireless provider, whoever it is you use the ACP program for. What you want to try to do is make a deal. See if they've got an entry-level plan where you can get a discount, and it could be a rate that you can live with. They really don't want to disconnect you. They're going to work with you. Some companies probably better than others. Some companies, I think, will be more prepared with a plan and an option for you. So maybe do a little bit of shopping if your current carrier can't really help you in the way you like, but hopefully that's the case. And we'll have more updates as things happen. Really what we need to see is if the ACP program needs a revamp, restructure, and then it can get some funding, we can get things squared away again. But you know how the politics are in this country. It's messy. Shout out to EM Tech with a super chat. T-Mobile, notoriously bad neighbor. They caused issues with Dish's 600 megahertz, didn't they? Yeah, I think there was some interference there with their 600 megahertz too. Some noise, some interference. I think the bigger issue with Dish and T-Mobile is the fact that Dish let T-Mobile use 600 during the pandemic for a while. Initially, it was supposed to be for a few months. It went on to like 6 months. I think it almost went to a year. And then Dish was like, "Oh, hey T-Mobile, glad you're enjoying our network assets. Can you start paying us now for it? We're running a business." And T-Mobile told them no. They told them no, we don't want to pay for it. We want to continue to use it for free. Tell me that's not a middle finger from Eugene to Charlie. And people will defend T-Mobile from shit like that. Are you serious, man? Shout out to Kenneth, another super chat, man. Thank you so much. He said, I use Assurance. Yeah, I mean, look, the carriers want to keep you connected. They want to keep you going. I know all the different programs that are in place. I'm going to take a look at something for you, actually. All right, so the assurancewireless.com website, let me see if they noted anything there. So you're running on the T-Mobile network, enhanced offers in California, Texas, Utah, and Wisconsin. Yeah, they say they're going to keep you connected, man. Okay, yeah, they're impacted by ACP and Lifeline service. Okay. Yeah. Hang tight, man. Hopefully that there's something that that can keep you connected and you get an option. I'm going to do more updates to the story as it develops, man. I'll try to keep you guys in the know. Just stay tuned and look out for more content as we get more updates. Let's see here. MS said, watch for information coming out of Louisiana Senator Kennedy early next week. He has a draft bill to pull enough money out of a Ukraine pension fund to cover ACP through the end of 2024. That's huge. Thanks, MS. Appreciate you, man. Gene said, doesn't T-Mobile own the Lifeline service called Assurance? They're the network provider for that service. Yep, that's correct. Yeah, that was inherited through the Sprint merger. Oh, man. Yeah. T-Mobile and their 5G interference. Moving like some serious dicks. Straight up. Man, it was a good show. I haven't done a live stream in forever. This was great. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please do me a solid. Hit the like button. Share this video, this live stream to all your friends and all your family. If you're new here, subscribe. First time here checking out the channel, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on the bell notifications so that way you know whenever we upload new content. I'm really trying to grow the Patreon community, folks. I can give you so much more if you support me on Patreon. There are links in the description, ways to support us. That's the best way. You support me directly, and you get more access. There's additional content, early access content, more live streams. You get direct access to me should you ever need anything, have any questions, right? And for certain tiers, you can be on the panel. You come and discuss topics with us, ask questions, communicate with us. I can really do so much more with you through Patreon. Support us there. Link is in the description. You could also become a YouTube member. Ways to do that. Just hit the join button. I think the only place you can't do it is through the iPhone. I think other than that, so like you could do it on your web browser. You could do it on, your desktop, laptop, Android. But really, really, I want to see the Patreon community grow. Thank you guys. Big shout out to all my longtime Patreon supporters. You guys are the best. Thank you for supporting the platforms. Hit me with your favorite hashtag, Kenneth. Thank you for another super chat, man. Really nice of you to support us, man. Jasper T. Jowls Goofy, and I thank you. Okay, man. Yeah, big salute to you, Kenneth. Thank you. Hit me with your favorite hashtag. Shout out to my mods. Hashtag Mod Squad. Hashtag 2Live Crew. Hashtag Replay Crew. Hashtag Ravioli Gang. Y'all are the best, man. Thanks for all that you do. Special thanks to the YouTube members and the patrons for directly supporting the creators. You guys are great. RF Waves, I see you with the hashtag interference, man. That's a good one. And we out this piece.